Hey, hey, it's Mike. I'm back, and I'm ready to do some Krishna stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun making fun of this Hare Krishna cult. So, my name is Mike Sandoval. I was a Hare Krishna for 20 years. I've been out for about 14 years, and this is where we get together and we talk about the Krishna cult, and we expose them, all these gurus, all their bullshit. We do that right here. So welcome, welcome. And good to see you. And like, share, and subscribe. Duke of Squirrels, all the squirrels. And we got Fake Human. Good to see you meditating on that kiwi. Hey, and it's Joe Lynn. Good to see you here. I got something going on here. I'm not sure what it is. I got to figure it out. I don't know. I hear sounds. I hear I hear sounds. I don't know where they're coming from. But I got to get rid of that. Okay, let's go right into the opening. Hey, what do we got? Shalom. AJ, good to see you here. And hey, negative creep. Hey, how you doing? A first-time viewer, came from Reddit. My partner is part of ISKCON, and I'm at a dead end with it. Ruined him. Well, welcome. I'm sure you're going to find a lot of interesting things here. I'm really sorry to hear about your partner. I seriously. And that's what this is all about. This is all about exactly what you're going through, and what everybody goes through if they come in contact with this cult. So, welcome. Welcome. Okay, Sophie. Negative creep. No problem. We're all having fun here, okay? We're having a lot of fun. Ding, it's time. Okay, so let's get right into the opening. So yeah, hey, welcome. Welcome to the new viewer. I'm really, what a way to start the show with bad news like that. I'm really sorry to hear what's going on, but I think you're gonna find this is the place where you want to be. So let's get right to the opening. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
All right, so I like to start off. First off, I just want to say, Sophie, I'm pretty rough. I'm pretty rough around the edges. I say a lot of stuff, and I fly off the handle. I do a lot of stuff. I get angry. I joke around. I think you're gonna have a good time. We all want to have a good time. I mean, that's why we're here.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to be free to ride. And we want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man. Yeah. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time.
Yeah, have a good time.
That's what we're going to do.
Well, when, baby? Let's go.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a party.
Yeah! Absolutely. So, first thing I like to start off, though, with knitting cult lady. She's the cult expert, and I like to start off with her before we get to the main event, which is this sex scandal that's going on in Nepal, in Kathmandu, or Nepal, wherever it is, Kathmandu, I guess. And we'll get to that. But first, I'm going to start off with some knitting cult lady, and this is where we're going to learn a little bit about cults and how cults operate, and why people join them, cult leaders, all these kind of things. So that's where we start off. And so we're going to start off right now with knitting cult lady, and she's going to talk about how all cults are the same, including Hare Krishna. So here we go. Oops.
So I completely agree with this, that cults start, proceed, and end in the same ways. All cults are the same. Many experts have said it in a different number of ways. And people will get a little bit upset about that sometimes because they're like, but this detail or this level of extreme wasn't reached. But that's why I look at the tactics. This is something that I learned as an intelligence officer in the United States Army, that it doesn't really matter the little details, the little differences. It matters when you're talking about someone's experience or that specific cult. But you can go very broad view and look at what we call TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures. And I always say it's because all these bad guys study each other. If you're going to coerce and manipulate someone with brain science, you're going to need to learn how to do it from the people that already know how to do it. Just like if you want to try to help someone with brain science, you're probably going to have to learn how to do that from the people who already know how to do it. What I did in my book, The Culting of America, is I wrote a tactics book. This is maybe why traditional book publishing didn't want it. Wanted a spicy cult call-out book. And I do some call-outs and some examples, lots of examples, but it's all about the patterns. People have asked me, for example, to talk more about single-family cults, and I will. The patterns are the same. This is why we can make lists and categorize. Like if a group is doing all 10 of these things, it's a cult, regardless of what other thing we might think that it is, what other kind of group we might think that it is. These patterns are the same. This is also why in Cult Book Club, we focus so much on memoirs. And it doesn't even matter how good of a writer that person is. If they are vulnerably telling their cult experience, you're going to see the same patterns. We just read Yeonmi Park's In Order to Live, which is about her escape from North Korea. And what was so interesting was the first time I read this, when it came out in 2015, I related to it so much, even though I did not grow up in North Korea, but I did grow up in a cult. And they are the same patterns, the same tactics every time. And if you can identify those tactics, you can stay away from them when the next individual or group tries to do it to you, even if the details are different. And if you don't identify those tactics and patterns, often you're drawn into similar cult groups.
Yes. And that's exactly why people that leave ISKCON will end up with Narayan Maharaj or this place or that bhakti place or this guru or that guru or some Gorahari, Gorahudi fool, because they haven't, they're not aware, they haven't realized that they were in a cult. And that the tactics, it's the cult, it's the manipulation, the coercion, the mind, the mental, the blackmailing, the spiritual blackmailing, the spiritual whoring, or whatever you want to call it, the narcissism, the spiritual narcissism, all of that. And they don't understand it. They're so caught up in this idea of being a spiritual person, a spirit, whatever, they're caught up in it, and then they leave ISKCON, but they don't know they don't realize what they were in, and then they go, oh, I'm gonna go. I'm rejecting this guru because I don't like him anymore. But now I'm gonna go to Narayan Maharaj. I'm gonna go to some other guru, or I'm gonna get involved with some other meditation guru guy or yoga guy or whatever. Or maybe another church. Maybe they join some other kind of cultic thing. High control group. People going from Mormonism to Jehovah's Witness to ISKCON to some Catholic cult or something. Because they haven't identified what's going on in their head and how they're being manipulated. Or maybe they like some of that, I don't have to think anymore. I don't have to take responsibility for anything because it's all in God's hand. It's all karma. It's Kali Yuga. It's whatever. So they like the rules. They like the rules, the rituals, the rules. I got to follow this. I can't do this. I can't do that. They like that. Makes them feel important. Makes them feel like there's somebody, whatever. Like, people like being in the army. They like it. They like somebody yelling at them, telling them what to do. Going out, doing hard days of work, whatever, coming back. Hey, Ghana. Hey, I'm glad to see you're not banned. I'm glad to see you're not yeah, I don't know what it was. I didn't see. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, communist North Korea, that's a full-on cult. So when you learn that, if you've been in a cult and you've come out of a cult and you understand it's a cult, and you learn a little bit, it doesn't take much because you already went through it. You got on-the-job training. I mean, you were studying it while you're in it. But if you were paying attention and then you get out of it and you understand what's going on, what just happened, you can deconstruct the whole thing. You can learn a little bit about cults. I already knew about cults when I was in the Hare Krishnas. I was just so brainwashed, I didn't think I was in one. But I could already recognize Jehovah's Witness and Scientology and all these other things. I was just too blinded to the fact that I was in a cult. Yeah, we just got started. You missed Knitting Cult Lady. Yeah, we have Sophie, and I feel really bad for her. You learned a few things about cults. So all cults are the same. That's one thing that I keep saying a lot, because I know that these videos are being shared in cult groups, in other groups, in other forums, and so people are coming and watching, and it's all cults are the same. So we got Knitting Cult Lady, we got that out of the way, got her done. I got another one here. So this is a little bit about, this is more about personality disorders, and this applies for these gurus, and it applies for their followers too, to a certain extent. Let me see.
That we've covered cluster A, let's move on to the next letter of the alphabet and talk about cluster B. As you'll remember from our personality disorder party mnemonic, cluster B consists of borderline, antisocial, narcissistic, and histrionic personality disorders, which are the most likely to get banned from future parties. Cluster B personality disorders are very common in clinical settings. For this reason, we'll be covering these disorders in a higher level of detail, including entire videos on borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. In this particular lecture, we'll focus primarily on the underlying patterns common to all 4 cluster B personality disorders, and then explore reasons for the differences in clinical presentation between them. This cluster is sometimes known as the wild cluster due to the emotional instability associated with each disorder. Indeed, one of the core factors linking all patients with cluster B personality disorders together is their sense that their emotions are unbalanced, with feelings of sadness, dissatisfaction, anger, irritability, and emptiness being common. The involvement of extreme emotional states makes these disorders commonly misdiagnosed as mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder. However, it's important to realize that cluster B personality disorders are not defined by any single mood state, but rather by a tendency towards negative emotions of all kinds. This tendency maps to the ocean trait of high neuroticism, which is a characteristic found in all 4 of these disorders. In addition, people with cluster B personality disorders often suffer from low self-esteem, an unstable sense of identity, and an extreme sensitivity to rejection or criticism. These patients are sometimes said to lack the same thickness of emotional skin that most people have, and will often be deeply wounded by even seemingly slight indignities. This combination of emotional instability and poor self-image is at the heart of all 4 cluster B personality disorders. Despite these shared roots, however, there are some pretty significant differences in how patients with each of these disorders will present clinically. The differences between borderline, antisocial, narcissistic, and histrionic personality disorder end up being based primarily on 2 things: severity and gender. Borderline and antisocial personality disorders are both incredibly disabling, with many patients finding themselves unemployed, socially isolated, and even repeatedly hospitalized or incarcerated. In contrast, narcissistic and histrionic personality disorders are often less impairing, and many patients are able to hold jobs and support themselves. Instead, the dysfunction here tends to manifest primarily in terms of maintaining social relationships. The other differentiating factor to be aware of here is gender. Borderline and histrionic
So I'm convinced, personally, I'm convinced that these gurus, these ISKCON gurus and their followers are suffer from cluster B personality disorders, mostly narcissistic, histrionic, and borderline. The thing is, gurus like Bhakti Vikash Swami and Harvard dumbass Goswami and this Gora hoodie guy and all these other ones, right? They don't sit for psychotherapy for a psychiatrist to analyze them and figure out what makes them think that they're a guru and that they're connected some imaginary line back to God, and that they believe in all these mythological stories, these fantasy. I mean, basically, they're delusional. They're delusional is what it is. And hey, Rafael, good to see you here. They're not studied. These gurus do not go and sit to be analyzed by psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors. So no one knows, like this Bhakti Vikash. The guy's out of his mind. All right, the guy thinks he's some kind of God man, and then if you wash his feet and drink the water, that somehow you're going to go back to Godhead, or that's going to give you some kind of liberation or some kind of knowledge of some kind of transcendental. That's insane. That's insanity. But he's not going to sit down with a psychiatrist or a psychologist and let them analyze him and figure out why he thinks that. Why he thinks that becoming a 12-year-old girl in the next life is some goal to achieve in this life. They can't sit there and figure out why this Indra Yumna Swami washes these rocks with a little ladle and a little flame, and he does all these little things with his little, and the swimmer guy is swimming around in the pool with a bunch of little dolls worshiping fossilized snails. Have a psychologist talk to these guru guys and say, "What, you don't know that's a fossilized rock? There's no friggin' God in that rock. You think there's a God in that rock? And you dress it up, you put eyes on the rock, and you dress it up with a little thing and a little crown on its head? You can't tell me that they're not delusional, they're not insane, they're not mentally ill. They're dancing around, chanting these magic words is liberating the world from from what? You can't tell me these people aren't fucking delusional. And we were too. And that's why that doctor, that Bandy Lee, she says, this mental illness, it's a contagion. The psychosis. The psychosis that this guy this guru is a God man. And that we got to lay down on the ground in front of him and throw flowers on his feet, put flowers around his neck, and say prayers to this guy who's in a pool with some dolls floating them around like they're fucking Ken and Barbie in a fucking Barbie Malibu playhouse. What was that? What was that, Lewis Black? I didn't hear you.
If you see somebody who's crazy and you don't realize they're crazy, then you're fucking crazy.
Right. That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said. Yeah, we're going to get to the sex thing. We're going to get to the sex thing in a minute. Yeah, the googly eyes. The googly eyes. Where's that random dude that joined you? Yeah, I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back and that Celia girl comes back. I guess this girl. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the sex scandal in a second. I just found out about it. Barbie Kanananda. Yeah, Barbie and Kanananda. Guys swimming around, swimmer pod. Friggin' insanity. Friggin' insanity. Hey, Contentment John, good to see you. And who else? Did I miss anybody? Did anybody sneak in here and I missed them? Okay. Yeah, so I'm convinced. And you can't, I'd also like to see one of these these body language guys analyze these gurus. Analyze them when they're lecturing. Analyze them when they're talking. Are they telling the truth? Do they believe this shit? Do they believe their own crap? I would like to know. I would like there to be studies done on these people. These people are insane. And they're allowed to just, they're insane. Mike, but what if these gurus do not actually believe in the whole system? What if they believe in none of it? What do you think, Robert? Are they true believers? Okay, yeah, that's the age-old question, right? If they don't believe in it, they're just scammers. If they believe in it, then they're mentally ill. So it's one or the other, and I believe it's a combination of the two. It's a little of both. Like Knitting Cult Lady says, they taste the Kool-Aid. They taste the Kool-Aid. They get a little bit of it because they're hearing all this shit. You're a guru. You're my guru. You this. They're hearing the prayers. They get the flowers. They wash their feet. They get all that shit. It goes to their head. It definitely goes to their head. Now, how much of it is they know it's a scam and they're just playing along, and how much of it is they really think that they're the guy, they're the God man? That's really. I believe it's a lot of them actually believe the bullshit. I believe some of them believe the bullshit. I think most of them know it's a scam and just cosplaying. I think there's a percentage of them that do, but there's a lot of them that have the sunk cost fallacy. They've invested 50 years, and God damn it, I'm not giving up on it now. I put in 50 years. This shit's gonna work, and even if I'm not fully self-realized now, I'm not stopping. I'll be fully realized one day. Because I put 50 years in it, and that's kind of how I was feeling. I was like, I've been doing this shit for 15 years. I ain't stopping now. I've read all the books. I'm on my second go round on the books. It's gotta be real. There's a lot of that going on. I mean, there's a lot of mental manipulation going on. There's a lot of fear, isolation. There's a lot. It's not. I don't think it's just one thing. The gurus, I think they got a God-man Messiah complex. They're narcissistic, and they believe that they are somehow what they say they are. I believe there's. Fun fact: if a guru is always talking about sex, porn, or other LGBT-related stuff, they themselves are constantly thinking about it. They're suffering and fighting that losing battle with themselves. Yes, and I believe Prabhupada was talking about it all the time too, because he had that. The books are saying one thing, but he did something. He had an 11-year-old wife. He was no brahmachari. He was a horny young man who wanted to have 2, 3 wives. I mean, he was just a. Let's see, what does Rafal say? I can answer to you by what I've heard on Indra Yumna class years ago. He said, what if Krishna ain't God in no Goloka? Well, we still do it because we love dancing, feasting, and singing. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, that's what my friend Radhakunda said. He said, Radhakunda told me, he said, even if you could prove to me that Krishna is not real, I would still do it because it's just so much fun. And I didn't realize how culty that is, that saying is. It's like, I'm in a cult. Basically what he's saying is, I'm in a cult, and you could prove to me that it's fake and it's false, but I'd still waste my life in this cult because I'm in a cult. And I don't care. That's what that says. That says I'm in a cult. A normal person would say, well, if you told me that if it wasn't real, I wouldn't do this anymore because I'm only doing it because, it's God and it's spiritual and I'm going back to Godhead and it's a soul, it's the eternal, transcendental, eternal position. But if that's all bullshit, why am I going to do all this? Why am I going to do all this other bullshit? Unless I'm in a cult and I'm being coerced and manipulated and I'm brainwashed. Then, if I'm brainwashed, I'll do whatever you tell me, whether it's true or not, fake, real, I don't care, I'm brainwashed. And that's how these people are, they're brainwashed. It's bottom line. They want to milk it to death. Yeah, if you're raking in the cash, you get to rake in the cash, you don't have to do anything, everybody's worshiping you. You think you're a special guy because you've been doing it for 50 years. Why stop now? That's why I say, and that's why I'll always say, this is a big fucking scam. These guys are scammers, and they're mentally ill. They got 2 strikes against them. And then with the sex scandals and all the raping and the sexism and racism, just fucking shut the whole thing down. Just fuck it. At a certain point, all bridges to sanity are burned down. Absolutely, Jolene. You took the words right out of my mouth. Absolutely. The one who I believe believes what he says is Gorahar. Yeah, he's a friggin' nut. That dude is psychotic, and I'm going to say it. Listening to him is like listening to Jim Jones. He talks about he's this and he's that, and if he wasn't so fucking goofy and stupid, I'd say he's friggin' dangerous. He's no different than Jim Jones. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say it like it is. He's no different than Jim Jones. He ain't done shit. The guy ain't opened one temple, he ain't opened one thing, ain't printed one book, ain't written one book, he ain't done nothing except have a dream. And that just shows you how delusional he is. It just shows you how delusional he is. Yeah, I believe. Besides, over the years, it's like a job, like Mike says, I agree. It's a corporate career, the amount of scam abuse went on. Yeah, and I think Rafal, I think it's just a big mishmash of all of that. It's part job, part scam, part mental illness. they're mentally ill, but they're functional, but they're only functional if they're in that fucking cosplaying fucking fantasy world where they're harming people. Because that's all it is it's harming people. Most religions, if not all, seems to have or form their own community. Mind you, so do the wealthy. They have their own circle of hangers on. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, birds of a feather flock together. Jolene nailed it. Yeah, she did. She did. Because I think to carry on that facade, it's like Cuckoo's Nest. You're faking it and you're pretending and and all of that, and over years and years and you're brainwashed by Prabhupada. So these gurus are brainwashed by Prabhupada. And now Prabhupada's gone. Now they've taken the position of scammer, guru. But remember, they're brainwashed. First and foremost, they're brainwashed by this cult. So they're already brainwashed. So whether they wake up and go, well, this is, I don't believe that, like that Vipramukya Swami, he woke up and said, I'm out of here. He woke up and said, I'm out of here. Now, how many have woke up and said, yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit, but shit, I make a good living doing this. And what else am I going to do? Like I said, what else Indra Yumna Swami going to do? He can sit there with a little ladle and a little flame and do his little yabba dabba do. Yabba dabba do. It's just, yeah, we are a funny species. Absolutely. Oh no, I just, oh no. Okay, I got it. I think I got it back. All right. Okay, I want to show you this one little part here of this guy, and he's talking about, again, narcissistic and psychopathic fantasy. Okay, here we go, and I think I got it queued up kind of in the right spot, somewhat in the right spot.
The individual. So an unusual fantasy again, but I have seen this many times, this redemption and success fantasy pattern. Fantasy number 7 is a fantasy of being chosen as great, right? So I see this mostly with narcissism and every now and then with psychopathy. Among all these fantasies that involve unlikely outcomes, this one seems to be particularly unlikely. Yet, like many of these, I've actually seen this particular fantasy quite a few times. So the example here, highly intelligent and incredibly advanced aliens come to the planet Earth and choose a man to be a great leader on Earth. They appoint him to be in charge of the whole planet, and on top of this, they give him superpowers. Perhaps something like the ability to fly, incredible strength, being immune from any type of weapons that are available on Earth. So we see kind of, again, a fantasy that really stretches things. Now within this fantasy being satisfied with the person being made to be a leader of the world, this man now can address his other fantasies, right? So this one kind of sets things off. It starts things. He gains these superpowers and this power in general, and now he can live out all of his fantasies on the planet. So I think this addresses the sense of being special and unique we see with narcissism. If people on Earth refuse to recognize how incredible the man is, perhaps an advanced, super intelligent alien race will recognize him, and everybody on Earth will have to acknowledge how they were wrong. So we kind of see familiar themes in this fantasy, right? So people that rejected the individual will now be forced to accept him. Moving to fantasy number 8, this is a romantic fantasy.
So that's how these gurus think. When he talks about when these doctors and these psychologists and psychiatrists are talking about narcissistic personalities, and they're talking about the psychopathic fantasies, and these, I'm thinking of Prabhupada. I'm thinking of what Prabhupada, and I'm thinking about these ISKCON gurus. I'm thinking about this Guru Hari. That's what I think about. I'm chosen. I was chosen. Just like Prabhupada was chosen by this Bhakti Siddhanta, somehow chose him in some mystical way. And then, you know, these gurus, somehow Prabhupada chose them. And this Gaurahari guy, Prabhupada chose him in a dream. I did a dream. I had to dream it. But it's not just having a dream about Prabhupada, but having a dream that you got to come through. I'm the guy. I'm the only guy. I'm the only one that teaches what I'm teaching. I'm the only one. In fact, Jesus sent me to Prabhupada, who came in a dream, and then Krishna came to this other guy, and he said, yeah, that was right. How psychotic do you have to be? How narcissistic, psychotic do you have to be to think that, believe that, and then preach that to other people? You got to be freaking out of your mind. That's why I'm saying you got to be Jim Jones. You got to be Jim Jones level crazy. Same thing with this Hridayananda and this Bhakti Vikash. They think that they're somehow connected to God, and they decide who gets to worship God. They decide who's worshiping God correctly. This Bhakti Vikash, he's the one who decides who is really a follower of God, who's really a lover of God. He gets to decide. And if you're not washing his feet, well, then, you know, then you're not the right guy. Fuck it, don't torture yourself. Yeah, you know, there's religious trauma syndrome. It's not an official diagnosis, but it is used for PTSD mental conditions. Oh, that's interesting. You have to look that up. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, imagine life when you've got literally no bills to attend to. Everything's taken care of. On the contrary, your life is only meant to collect donations and have your feet being washed by a flock of clowns and having flowers put around your neck and people constantly telling you how fucking awesome you are. And you tell me that you don't become deluded by that. You absolutely do. In fact, there was a quote by, I think it was Sudam or one of these gurus who confessed and said, having your feet washed and being worshipped is better than any drug on the planet. There was a 60-minute show about 20 years ago on the Vatican. Young priests in Rome are well known to go out dancing and partying at night. It's not a job, it's a career. Yeah, the few, the proud. The few, the proud. I think there's a multitude of reasons. There's a bunch of reasons. It's a bunch of stuff going on. There's a bunch of stuff going on in their head that it's just not. And that's why I got to hand it to that Vipramukya Swami to just get out and just get your life back together. I don't know what he's doing. He got a job doing something. He became a whatever. Good for him. He needs to speak out, though, is what he needs to do. He harmed so many people. He has a debt. He has a debt he needs to repay. That's what I think. But I'm glad he got out. I'm glad he got his life back together. That's good. That's good. It's the best scam possible. It's the best scam possible. Because not only are you raking in money, people are treating you like you're fucking God. And I think it's a very harmful scam because you're fucking with people's lives. You're fucking with people's lives. Their spiritual life. You're fucking with someone's spiritual life. It's not something to fuck around with. It's not something to fuck around with. You know, they dictate conscription while doing everything in their power to stop their own from being conscripted. That narcissistic shit leads, yes, it leads to, everybody is affected. Everybody's affected. Everybody's affected. And the little children are being brainwashed into worshiping these people. And they don't care if they break up someone's marriage or someone's relationship. They don't give a fuck about that. In fact, they encourage that. Like this Sophie in here. Sophie is having problems. Might be having problems with her boyfriend or whatever, spouse, whatever. They don't care. They'll tell the boyfriend, "Oh, just leave her. If she's not a devotee, just leave her. You're on two different paths now. I mean, it's too late now. We got you now. We got you now." He's a prison guard. Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. Absolutely, man. Rip him. He's a prison guard. He was a temple president. He was the prison guard at Bhaktivedanta Manor. Now he's a prison guard in a real prison. I guess he likes telling people what to do. I don't know. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I know. There's a woman in this other group who contacted me. She wanted to contact me. She contacted me. And then they found out about it. They found out who she was, and they tried to kick her out of the group. They humiliated her. They told her husband to get her in line, and then they told her she had to go on the YouTube and do all this bullshit. I didn't give a fuck, but they made her do this whole humiliation ritual where they put her name up there and called her a simple pussy woman and all this shit right in front of her husband. You know, that's like putting her in the stockade in the middle of town and letting people throw shit at her. That was basically what they did. And then she ended up contacting me again. So obviously the people are hurt by this stuff, and they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about this woman's marriage, her 30-year relationship with her husband. No, I think her boyfriend. I think her boyfriend got into it, and now it's not looking good. I'm really sorry to hear that. It happens. In fact, look at this. This is. I want to show you this. I don't know if you. I don't know if you're all familiar with this guy, but.
It seems like the newest celebrity to join Scientology is that guy, the dog trainer, Cesar Millan. The dog whisperer. He's a big old Scientologist now. He's been hanging out here in Clearwater with a bunch of the rich Clearwater Scientologists. You guys jump onto his socials and be like, "Oh no, say it's not so. You've joined Scientology?" I wonder what they have on him. What dirt do they have on Cesar Millan? It seems like the newest celebrity.
They got the dog guy. So I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, that guy was really popular on TV in America. He's like had his own dog show. He's like a dog guy, and so he's kind of like a little mini celebrity. He's not that popular now, but he was at one time. He was pretty popular, and he's still got a following, because he's a dog guy. But evidently he's a Scientologist now, and it just shows you that anybody can become a Scientologist. It's not because they just get sucked in. People just get sucked in. It's not because they're dumb. It's not because they're stupid or they were needy or they lack this or they lack that or they were searching for this or searching. Not necessarily any of that. It just happens. And it happens because cults are actively recruiting people. Cults are out trying to get people in. That's why people join. Yeah, the dog guy. The dog guy. He's a Scientologist. He got sucked into it. you're kind of ex-ISKCON, never joined fully, and kept them at arm's length, as I never fully, it never fully sat right with me. Well, good for you, because you don't want to waste your life with that. I mean, if your boyfriend is wants to waste his life, I feel really bad for you, because you probably, I don't know, old dogs can learn new cult tricks. Yeah, they got him. They got him. Yeah, I agree. Good for you for, you know what? Bhaktivedanta Manor, but visits every temple in the UK. Yeah, you know, I was like that. I was fully in it. If you stick out the whole show, you'll see at the end the pictures of me when I was a Hare Krishna. I was a full-on Hare Krishna, 20 years in it. And so was Rafal, and there's a few others in here. We're all in it. But I was in it for 20 years. I was right up there with Yashodanandan and the Ritviks, and I was... I don't want to... you can watch my old videos if you want to know more. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't get into it. I mean, you know, spent a fair bit of time. Yeah, I spent so much time. I spent so much time in the 90s, 2000s, and 90s and 2000s. Man, I was all over the place. You know, I've been to the Houston Temple, Dallas Temple, Badger, L.A., Berkeley, San Francisco, Vrindavan. I've been to a lot of ISKCON temples. Yeah, hey, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here, and we're glad you found us. Okay, so I got that guy out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to get into the sex scandal. So evidently this Nepal, this ISKCON temple in Nepal, I'll just show you. I had to do some searching. I had to do some research. I was actually working. I had to do some research to find this shit, because they're keeping it under wraps. They're like, I stumbled across it, and I was like, what's this? And then I was like, well, there's got to be something. There's got to be more about it, like on YouTube and Google or whatever. There's got to be more information. There's no information. I couldn't find anything. Yeah, we're an ex-ISKCON family here, and we all come together, and that's what we do here, and that's what we do here. So. I did find. I don't even know how I did it. I don't even know how. Now I can't even remember how I did it. But I found this page on Facebook. It's a Facebook page, and I found this, and it's about ISKCON. It's about ISKCON Nepal, and so it says here. So I guess some stuff's been going on, and. This is a recent post, because people have been commenting on it just the last day or two. So ISKCON Nepal, it says that the brahmacharis and the temple people are being controlled through fear, pressure, false allegations. There's victims. Victims are being ignored. It says. It says Nepal is a nation built on diversity, tolerance, and unity, but if divide and rule, nepotism and factional politics dominate inside a religious institution, then it creates division. Is ISKCON someone's private company? Does anyone have the right to harm innocent people? Are spiritual institutions above the law? So this is like a manifesto, I guess. This is like a complaint letter. That they're writing to, I guess, the GBC or somebody. So they're saying that there's a lot of stuff going on in this ISKCON Nepal temple. A lot of so it's not the thing that's going on now. Shit's been going on for a while. Is what I'm trying to say. This is not something new. This shit's been going on for a while. Okay, but what's going on? What's new? I got from the pod page, and it says here, and I'll read some of it here. So it says, for anyone who doesn't know what's going on, one, Gurukula students were physically abused and subjected to severe punishments. 2 of them have filed a case against the teacher. 2, a female student was sexually abused and molested by a male Gurukula student. She has filed a case against the boy. Before filing the case, the victim contacted ISKCON's Child Protection Office. The Child Protection Office came and conducted an investigation. During the investigation, several serious issues surfaced, including teachers having affairs with students and leaders from ISKCON Kathmandu having multiple affairs. The devotees from ISKCON Kathmandu then realized that the truth had been exposed to the CPO. It says immediately 25 to 30 devotees rushed to the interrogation room and surrounded the CPO members. The CPO is the Child Protection Office. So they surrounded, 25 to 30 devotees surrounded the child protection officers with knives in their hands. They copied all the information and deleted everything from the laptops. During this incident, the CPO messaged Kanai Sundar Prabhuji, who came with others, to rescue them. It says there's a video showing this, but there's no link to the video, nor could I find this video anywhere. Otherwise, I'd be showing you the video. But I couldn't find it. I've searched. I spent hours looking for this video. I could not find it. So I guess they deleted that video too. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it says the police were called by Kanai Sundar Prabhu to rescue the CPO. If you look closely, the police are not chasing him. They're chasing the Kathmandu devotees who came there to attack. The CPO is preparing their final report. We have all the evidence. Once the report is ready, we will post it here. Oh, so it does say, it says the video was taken by force and they were threatened with a knife. So that was just recently. That was May 10th. There's no date on it, but the reply is May 11th. And I guess that email went out to a lot of people. I guess that's why it's circulating on the internet about this incident. But that video, I cannot find that video. But that is what's going on in ISKCON in India, in Nepal, today. There's always something going on. There's always something going on. But we don't hear about it. We only hear about it when it leaks out into the public arena, into the, and someone searches it out and exposes it and posts it somewhere. And then someone like me has got to go find it and then share it. Like if I hadn't gone to this pod page, I wouldn't have found that, and I wouldn't have found the other thing on the Facebook page. So it goes on about ISKCON Nepal is beyond suspicion. How can someone doubt this great personality? Just more insanity, more mental illness, more delusions. I could do it. I could go live 24 hours a day exposing this bullshit, going over every guru, and everything that every guru ever did, every allegation, every child that was abused, I would be lying from now till the end of time talking about this shit. Reading off names, just reading off the names, 400 names of the kids that were in the lawsuit. Reading off the list of suicides, people that have committed suicide. Reading off the list of names of women that have been abused and married off at 11 and 12 years old. The list of gurus that have fallen down. The list of disciples that have been harmed by these gurus. They go on forever. Because there's always new people being harmed. We got to add Paz's brother, Paz's family to this. Paz's brother, Sophie's boyfriend. I mean, there's so many people. People being harmed by this shit every day. Every day somebody new is getting a book. Every day somebody new is falling into some fake fucking guru's bullshit. Well, yeah, because he was a Jehovah's Witness. How could he get involved with ISKCON when he was a Jehovah's Witness? See? You know, it was just one cult for another cult. Yeah, that's what, ISKCON Nepal, under jurisdiction of Jai Patel Swami and Mahavishnu Swami, yeah. Cheap labor, kids being abused, cult man is at the heart of the Himalayas. It's disgusting. Yeah, it sounds horrible. It's, you know, you just say ISKCON Nepal, and I just think, oh, no. I can picture that. I don't even want to picture that. It's why I don't think ISKCON's kind of celibacy is normal or healthy. It's not. It's not healthy to tell a bunch of boys, teenage boys and young men, that they can't have sex, and then put them all together in a school or in a ashram and just talk about not having sex all the time. That shit make you go crazy. It does, obviously, they do. They do go crazy. They abuse each other. They abuse each other's. They abuse their own wife. They'll find someone to abuse. If there's no little girls to abuse, they'll abuse the little boys. If they have no wife to abuse, they'll abuse, I don't know what. Man, it's just fucking insanity. It's friggin' insanity. Has the whole world gone crazy?
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
And you got not only the child abuse, the child sexual abuse. You had, you know, what did they say? Originally it was okay. Originally they said Gurukula students were physically abused and subjected to severe punishments, and 2 of them filed a case. And a female student was sexually abused and molested by a male student, and she filed a case. And when they were investigating that, they found out that all these people are having affairs. There's affairs going on. So then the devotees that got when their sex scandal got out in the open, then they attacked. Then they just got violent and went and attacked the people that were investigating the child sex abuse. See, this is some bullshit. You get this ISKCON crap is even worse when it's being practiced in India, because you don't have the protections that you have in the West. You've got you got this kind of sexual, repressed, homophobic, all whatever you want to call it, narcissistic, histrionic. I don't know. It's a friggin' piñata of fucking mental illness, and it all comes spilling out. Child sexual abuse, domestic violence, just putting people through the ringer because they can. Why is the Gorahari coming down so hard on that woman that wanted to leave? Because she wanted to leave. It didn't even have anything to do with sex or sexual abuse. It's just, let's just fucking torment this woman and humiliate her. Let's put her up on screen and put simple pussy woman under her name so everyone can see the simple pussy woman and her husband. And we can all laugh at her and talk shit about her. What's that all about? They're not thinking about how that's harming her? All fun and games to them? All fun and games. Oh, this is how we love God. By bringing you on here and humiliating you and calling you a simple pussy woman. And that's how we love God, and that's how we have ecstatic symptoms. You gotta tell me that ain't mental illness. Fucking guy is like he's a psychopath. Put that woman through that shit. Why? Because he had a dream? Because he had a fucking dream? Because Sri Dayananda had a dream? Because he dreamed that his name is on a letter that doesn't exist? That Prabhupada appointed him to something and there's no proof Prabhupada ever appointed anybody anything? These guys are all dreaming. Every last one of them. They're all as psychotic and fucking narcissistic and having delusions just like Gorahari. All of them. All of them. Otherwise, how do you explain this crap? How do you explain these people going nuts? Attacking the Child Protection Office that's there to investigate child sexual abuse. This is a cult of fucking freaks. I say it every day and I mean it. And I know I was in there. I was one of them. I was defending this shit. I wasn't defending child marriage. But I was like, Prabhupada's a guru. Prabhupada's a bona fide guru. He's this and that. I thought that I was just as deluded. Running around chanting on these beads. Laying down on the floor in front of a statue. I was just as psychotic and freaking nuts as the rest of them. I woke up, I got out of that shit. Yeah, I agree with you, Ghana. Yeah, I agree. You got to, we can control ourselves. There's nothing wrong with controlling yourself. We control ourselves every day. We do stuff, and we control ourselves. But we don't have to friggin' artificially pretend to be something we're not by artificially trying to suppress our natural needs. I mean, absolutely the dog guy who is no great anything, joined Scientology for money. Yeah, he's no great. He's no great anything. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's another one bites the dust. You can be anybody. And I'm sure he didn't, for whatever reason he joined them. He joined a cult. Whether he's going to make money at it or not, it's a piñata of mental illness. Yeah, and they just smack it, and it opens up, and they all spill out all over the floor. The husband put her up to it. The husband's a creep just like Gorahari. How do you treat your wife like? How do you say, this is the woman I love, and then humiliate her like that? That to me is disgusting. That to me is disgusting. Hey, Jenna Morton, good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Okay, so that's the so that's what's going on in Nepal. That's what's going on. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you stopped by, man. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. All right, so I have some more videos to get to, and then I'm going to get to some Krishna videos. But I wanted to get to this video because it's really good. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. My favorite cult girl now is Britt Hartley. I can really relate to a lot of things, but here we go. She's got some really good things to say. She's an ex-Mormon, so she is from a cult, and I guess it just shows you that if you've been in a cult, you can really take an interest in cult studies and learning about cults. And when we do that, when those of us that have been in a cult come out of a cult, we start learning about cults. We have an insight that other people just don't have. I'm sorry, we just do. Here we go.
Atheist spiritual director with a master's degree in theology. I'm also part of a Sufi lineage that a lot of people have asked me to talk more about. So today I'm going to be talking about Fowler's levels of faith development, which ends in mysticism. I'm going to talk about my own mystic journey and also the benefits of mysticism even as a skeptic. And I'm going to be talking about how religion ultimately always rejects mysticism and why these two are always at odds. So I want to use Fowler's levels of faith so I can differentiate what I mean by what religion does and what it's doing at the level of the brain, and what mysticism is doing and how these are different projects. So James Fowler's models is one of the best maps that we have for how people make meaning, not just what they believe. It's showing how our brains develop over time. So stage 1 is called intuitive projective faith, and this is just early childhood imagination. All of it is fantasy. There's no separation between fantasy and reality. If there is a God, it's big and magical, but there's also the Tooth Fairy, and there's Santa Claus, and there's leprechauns. And stage 1 is described as fantasy-based or imaginative, but that's really underselling what's going on, because kids aren't just being imaginative for no reason. They're running the default settings of the human brain. And this is the thing that I think I argue with atheists about the most. We are not born neutral. We are not born as like our brains are recorders of reality. We are born looking for agency and assuming that things happen on purpose and feeling like there is something or someone behind everything. And that is our default mode. That's our default setting. So we are actually born superstitious. And so when a kid thinks, someone made the mountains for the animals, or someone is watching me, or gets scared of something unseen in the dark, it's the brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. And this is natural for most humans. It's less common if you are neurodivergent, especially autistic.
So that's really interesting that we're not born neutral. We are born evolution for our brains to survive. Our brains are always on alert, looking for danger, looking for unaware of what is that? What is that rustling over there? Is that a tiger in the bushes? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Do I need to run? Do I need to get out of here? Am I in danger? And so our brains are looking for answers. Our brains, we're not neutral. And then we're born with a bias. And religion feeds into that. We're born to go that way. Our brains want an explanation. We want to know why this is that way and why that's this way. It's not that we're a clean slate. No, our DNA is already telling us that we need answers, mister. I need answers.
So children are not born as these like natural observers of the world. They are predisposed to over-apply agency. And this is called hyperactive agency detection, HAAD, because evolutionarily it's better to imagine and use your imagination to imagine a lion in the bushes than to just notice the bushes moving and then just die. And so we are the descendants of superstitious people who use their imagination to imagine dangers, but then we also kind of have an imagination that now goes everywhere. And so this is why religion feels intuitive for humans. It's because humans over apply a sense of agency, that the storm is happening because a God is mad. You know, if you ask a child why the mountain exists, they will say so mountain goats can climb on them. Children naturally believe before any religious indoctrination, even secular kids will believe that they have agency and they have a purpose, and everything outside of them has agency and purpose too. And so Fowler describes this stage as intuitive faith. It can also just be understood as the mind operating according to its default evolutionary settings before those tendencies are shaped by religion. This is just the raw material out of which religious systems are built. And so what feels like belief at this stage doesn't really have any doctrine to it. It's just the natural expression of a mind that is wired to see the world as meaningful and inhabited by intention. Even for things like mountains, like they won't just automatically think plate tectonics or whatever that's called. They'll think it was made for a purpose. And so the strengths of this phase is just the wonders of children, high in openness, lots of imagination, a natural sense of wonder, emotional engagement with the world. My kids the other day, or I guess
that's why I say they're caveman stories. They're like children's stories, like fake human says, bedtime stories. Hey, Howard Johnson, good to see you. I'm glad you stopped by. Caveman stories. Stories about that, what cavemen would believe.
Last month, made leprechaun traps in their school and whatever. And the weaknesses of this phase is that it's very vulnerable to fear-based imagery, especially. Not as much the doctrine, but the image. So pictures of Jesus being tortured or hell or punishment. There's no distinction for the brain in early childhood between symbolism and literal reality.
And that's why I say that painting of Nrsimhadev pulling the insides out of Hiranyakasipu, that's not an image that you should be showing to little kids and teaching that to little kids. I don't care. It's just not a good image for little kids to see and to have to explain it to them. And then you got to try to explain it to them. Well, he was a bad guy, and the lion is the God guy, and he's ripping his insides out, and all that blood. And that's a good thing. Somehow that's a good thing, okay? It's just, the same thing. And what she's saying is like the story about Jesus being beaten and the thorns and the whipping and all of that stuff and being nailed to a cross. When I was a little kid and they were telling me that stuff, I just didn't understand it. I could not comprehend it. You're telling me that he was a great guy, he was a good guy, and they're doing this shit to him? It just didn't make sense to me. And it still doesn't make sense to me. But it has an effect on little kids. Fear, intimidation, PTSD, a lot of things going on.
And so that gets really encoded in our fear-based parts of our brain. So stage 1 isn't really considered where religion starts. It's where the brain starts thinking in ways that makes religion feel obvious later.
To say that I love this job is an understatement.
I've been on the data annotation platform for about a
So stage 2, and we're still in childhood when we're talking about neurotypical human development. Stage 2 is called mythic literal faith. And this is when we start to take stories literally. And so God becomes a rule enforcer and a judge. Morality comes online, and we start to ask questions about fairness and reward and punishment. So stage 1 is the brain running wild with imagination. Stage 2 is where that tendency, where that capacity gets organized into rules and stories. And this is where religion starts to lock in. So at this stage, kids really want to know what's right and wrong, what happens if I do something bad, and they're testing the world because they want it to be safe and fair. And religion is going to give you these very clean answers. Good people are rewarded, bad people are punished, everything happens for a reason. And so, by the way, even if you weren't religious, your brain can still follow this model. Like if you weren't religious, maybe you believed as Santa as a little kid, or maybe you believed really weird things, or had an imaginary friend, or pretended you were an elephant. And if you weren't religious, maybe stage 2 for you looked like you loved Batman, and Batman is the good guy and Joker is the bad guy, and you want to dress up as Batman and kill the bad guys because in the story they're only bad. And this is totally normal developmental behavior. It's actually more developmentally appropriate for the brain to learn about good guys and bad guys.
And you can see how some people don't evolve past that stage. That stage of they stay in that stage of good guy, bad guy. Their religion is just God is the good guy. He enforces the rules. They never evolve. There's a lot of different stages. She goes through all the different stages, and it goes all the way from religion all the way to mysticism, which is like the opposite of religion. And she explains it all very well. And I encourage everybody that wants to know how the brain works, how the brain thinks about religion, and why it thinks the way it does about religion. And it's called No Nonsense Spirituality. Britt Hartley, she's really good. She's an ex-Mormon, and so I highly recommend. Hey, Tim, good to see you in here, Tim. We're going to get to some videos in just a minute. So, okay, you were talking about, Snoggle brought up a thing about child marriage. Netflix was paying and filming a child marriage in the UK, age 16, marrying a 19-year-old. Even with parental permission, you cannot marry in the UK before 18. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I mean, why? But they married in the Isle of Man where 16 is still legal. Yeah, I don't know, I know that if you really want to get into it, child marriage and white supremacy, those two things go together. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but it sounds like some weird. Oh, okay. The Netflix show is At Home with the Furies about heavyweight boxer Tyson Fury. When I was 3, I couldn't wait to be 16 so I could drive up to the North Pole and live and work for Santa. Glad I didn't. Might have got molested. Yeah, well, yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. I put a link to the Britt Hartley and her videos. I think she's really good. She explains a lot of stuff. She has a lot of good insights. She has a degree in theology, and she's also in psychology or whatever. So definitely check her out. Now, I wanted to get to. Oh, I wanted to show you this. This is so this is the place in Nepal. This is the place they were going around with a video camera. This was just uploaded just the other day. So while all that shit was going on, this is the place. This is their place.
It's Agoda's birthday,
Oh,
but the
more
gifts
commercials.
are for you. Unwrap up to 60% off hotels.
Krishna Saranam. Sri Krishna Govind Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Govind Hare Murari.
So evidently this place is a real love fest. It's a real swingers hangout up here. I mean, from what I understand. Freaks and weirdos. Those freaks, freaks and weirdos. Freaks and weirdos. Okay. In USA Midwest, 18 is now legal age. 18, but there's like 36 states where where underage marriage is legal with parental consent. So underage marriage is not completely outlawed. They need to stop with the parental consent. There's no reason why parents should be able to marry their 14, 15, 16, or 17-year-old daughter. There's just no reason for it. I mean, I can understand maybe back on the prairie, back with friggin', in the prairie day, 1870, and they were coming across the west, coming across the plains in a covered wagon. I can't even imagine that. But let's say back then, they're like, well, hey, if a girl, lives to be 22, she's an old lady. I get it, I understand. But no, there's no reason today in 2026 that any parent should be marrying their daughter off at 14, 15, 16, or 17 years. There's no reason for it. And I don't know why. I do know why. It's white supremacy. White people want to be able to marry little girls. I am sorry. I was gonna say, and that's it. And that's why I say ISKCON is a super white Hindu cult. Because Prabhupada was a white supremacist. He was a Hitler guy. He hated the Jews. He loved Hitler. He was an extremist. He didn't like women. He hated women. Give a fuck about kids. I mean, what else? What else can you say? What else can you say, man? And he liked his child brides. He liked his child brides, man. He did. And really, that's what I see here. That's what I see here. I see a lot of child brides. I see a lot of little girls waiting to get married.
Ananda.
Oh, we have firsthand account. The amount of teen girls and ladies, wow. I went to ISKCON Nepal only in '96. Since then, it developed massively. Lots of saffron freaks. Definitely brings a lot of issues. Yeah, I mean, anywhere there's orange guys, man, there's gonna be problems. I'm just gonna say it. If you got a bunch of guys running around in orange or yellow, and guys were getting their feet washed, you just look out, man. Just run. Just run.
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
Okay. So there's sex in Kathmandu. I mean, hey, you want to go have a little party and you go to Kathmandu. I'm going to Kathmandu. Yeah, you go to Kathmandu, man. That's where the swingers are. That's where the swingers are swinging. The swingers are swinging. In England here, is a big problem with Pakistani Muslim pedophile grooming gangs who rape and tortured underage girls for many decades. So it's not just a white person thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. That's part of their culture over there. But ISKCON is a white ISKCON. I don't know about ISKCON. But yeah, I know. I know what you're talking. I'm with you. India is the rape capital of the world. I'm going to say it. It's the rape capital of the world. I say it all the time. Women in India are afraid to get on a bus because they're afraid they might get gang raped. We didn't bring any issues back then in the 90s. Actually, we were really saintly, traveling and selling books. Yeah, I mean, I remember seems like there might be a secret brothels. You know, when I was in Vrindavan, I remember in 2005, I think I was in Vrindavan, and I heard that there was a prostitution going on in Vrindavan. And so I asked my friend, I said, hey man, I heard that there's there's Russian prostitutes or something going on here. Is that true? And he's like, you want a girl? You want a girl? I was like, no, I'm just asking. I'm like, is that, because I was a devotee at that time. I wasn't looking for a prostitute or anything. I was just asking him. I was like, really, is that going on here? And he's like, yeah, it's going on here. That's going on. Swinging in Nepal. Yeah, we're swinging, man. We're swinging. Yeah, rape capital. That's right. No justice for women. Nope, none at all. And ISKCON doesn't. And ISKCON is contributing to that because ISKCON says, that women like to be raped. That's their teaching, is that women like to be raped. Yep. Yeah, we were brainwashed. I was a brainwashed freak too, man. I was brainwashed. Yeah, so okay, so I'm going to save that one for next time. And I got this. So I found this. Let's do this first. This will be kind of fun, I guess. Let's see. Wait, yeah. What are you saying? Yes, prostitution was going on in the 90s already. I can confirm it. I heard enough about it then and later. Yeah, I was surprised because I had no idea that would be going on. I mean, first of all, it didn't seem like Vrindavan didn't seem like the place where you go to get a hooker. It didn't look like a place to go. I mean, it's very dusty and dirty, and I mean, where are you gonna? I mean, there's no Snooty Fox or Motel 6. I mean, I don't know. It was. Yeah, it's. Yes, absolutely. There's definitely. I'm telling you, there's some white supremacy going on with ISKCON, and Prabhupada was a white supremacist. He looks like a black man, but he is white supremacist all the way. He was white supremacist all the way. Okay, so let's do this one. Where is here we go.
The purpose of life. I wanted to know why I was going to die. I wanted to know why I was going to high school. And I used to stay up late at night with my brother, and we'd talk back and forth about what happens at the time of death. And we'd become very afraid. during the 1970s, there was a lot of change and turmoil in the world, and I felt a desperate need to find out who's God and what's my purpose. So in that mood.
So stuck in that. So now I can say. So now I know. I can say that this guy, he's stuck. He's stuck in that stage 2, that child where God is good and he makes the rules. And when you're good, good things happen. And when you're bad, you get punished and you go to hell. And that's that little kid mentality of God. Like the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, God, just another character of my imagination. And he's stuck in there. He remembers when he was a little kid. He remembers when he was a little kid, and I had the same thoughts I'm having now. I remember talking to my brother when I was a little kid, and we talk about what happens at the time of death, and what happens when this, and what happens when that. And then when I became a devotee, I went right back into that little kid brain. I went right back into being that little kid again. And I had all the security, all the security of when I was a little kid. And I would talk to my brother. It put me right back in that mood. Now I feel good now. Because the curious little kid that didn't understand what was happening at death or didn't understand the world, and now I have Krishna consciousness, and now that little kid feels satisfied. Not the adult, not the grown-up, that little kid. He's still in that little kid phase.
I found a book called Be Here Now, and I began to read it, and it told all about Eastern philosophy, only with a Mayavadi tilt to it. But in there I found a mantra, Rama, and I began to chant Rama constantly because it said, look at everything and see God and just chant Rama. So I chant Rama, 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 Rama. And I took a vow to not wear shoes and not look at clocks, and I gave away all my things. And I would just go to school and do what I had to do and come home and chant my Rama mantra. And I looked at many books to try to find what is the absolute truth.
So he was doing the exact same thing that thousands of other kids were doing in 1969 or 1968 or whenever it was that he was doing this. No different. He's not special. You're not special. You had the same thoughts that every little kid had. You grew up just like every other little kid with the same questions, the same wonder, the same why are we here. There's nothing special about you. Nothing special about you. You weren't on any journey. You weren't on any magical mystery tour, have any story. You haven't done anything special. You're still a nobody. You're just in a fucking deluded fantasy stage. You're in a fucking psychotic, delusional grandeur, delusions of grandeur stage. In your stage 2 of life. That's it. That's it. That's all you've done. Hey, Lochan, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. That's how that's I mean, what can you say about a guy like this?
And none of them completely satisfied me because none of them talked about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They all said that I was God or there is no God. And one day, while I was sitting in my room meditating on a candle flame, my friend Richie Corsa came to my house, where I lived with my parents, and he knocked on my door, and he said, I have a magazine from the Hare Krishnas. They took my last 50 cents, and I don't want this magazine, I'm not interested in it, but I know you will be. I didn't answer the door, because I reasoned, according to what I had read in many of these books, that we're all one, and therefore Richie knew what I was thinking.
Oh, he was so. He was such the advanced. He was such the sage. He was such a sage living in his parents' house, eating his parents' food, not paying the goddamn bill, But hey, he was spiritually advanced, and he was so spiritually advanced. Krishna sent him a Back to Godhead magazine. That's how special he was.
No matter if I came to the door or not. So out of frustration, he left the magazine at my bedroom door and went away. And a little while later, I came out and found the magazine and began to read it, and I knew I had found the perfect philosophy and my home and my spiritual master when I saw the picture of Srila Prabhupada. In the Back to God magazine.
And that foolish little kid that was living in his parents' house, eating his parents' food, and his parents paying all the bills, and he didn't have a care in the world, and then he became a Hare Krishna. He hasn't changed. He hasn't changed one bit. He hasn't changed. He's the same guy. He's doing the same things, believing the same stories, doing the same crap he was doing back when he got that stupid magazine. No, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Absolutely the same. Fucking insanity, man. Friggin' insanity. Friggin' insanity, man. Let me tell you. These people are delusional. Speaking of delusional, hey, if Prabhupada said he was God, Hare Krishnas would believe him. Yeah, hey, so what's going on over there with Gora Hari? How's that girl doing? Is she still in the group, or is she out? Is she in? Is she out? Fill me in. Yeah, they already treat him as God. I mean, their way out is to say as good as God, but they believe that he's just like God. So it's no different. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. I know. He thought the friend was so gullible. Turns out he was more gullible. I know. It's a miserable mystery story. It's like, how did you become so miserable? Yeah, I got a book. I got a book, and now I've been miserable for the last 20 years. It's so funny. Jenna is so funny. He thought his friend was so gullible, and yet he was the gullible one. He was this foolish one. Kiwi consciousness activated. Yeah, I'm curious. Lochan, yeah, you corrected it. I'm curious as to what's going on with that Gora Hari woman that's trying to get out. I really want to know what's going on with a woman that's trying to get out. And speaking of toxic relationship, speaking of this woman that wants to get out and she can't get out, let me play this for you because this is really good. This is let me get this going here.
Why Rogan keeps going back even though Trump keeps hurting him. There's a psychological reason for that. In 2024, Rogan gave Trump 3 hours on his podcast. The interview got 40 million views. Trump's own team called it the crowning achievement of their entire media strategy. Then Trump took office and started doing horrible things. Rogan called the undocumented immigrant raids horrific and heartless. He called the Iran war insane. He called MAGA supporters unintelligent dorks. Then Trump invited him to the Oval Office and signed an executive order on psychedelics with Rogan standing directly behind him. Rogan went back, and the reason might be darker than you think. Psychologist Patrick Carnes coined the term trauma bonding in his 1997 book, The Betrayal Bond. He defined it as a bond that forms when cycles of rewards and hurt cause a person to become deeply attached to the one causing them harm. He called it trauma bonding. The cycle is always the same. You give everything. They hurt you. They give you just enough to bring you back in. And then you tell yourself the oldest 2 lies in every toxic relationship. But Trump really loves me. He's changed now. Rogan gave Trump the White House.
But he loves me. He loves me now. Gora Hari loves me now. No, the one they kicked out. The Radhe. The one they kicked out. The one that... Yeah, if you can't Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you see somebody who's crazy and you don't realize they're crazy, then you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, she contacted me, and she's not into him. But since they bullied her and abused her, they made her make a hostage video, saying that she is not in the cult. She's not over here, and she's in the cult with them, and that she loves Gorahari, and that she's doing this on her own. And then 2 days later, she's back over here, crying and complaining. I don't know what's going on. So I was just wondering if she's okay, because I know she's. Honestly, I think she's trying to get out. I honestly think she's trying to get out. She don't know how. And so I was just wondering if how they're treating her over there, because I'm worried about her. I think. I know Lolita had a small fallout with Gorhai, but she's back to worship. Yeah, and that's exactly what this guy just said. It's called trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding. He does that with everybody. He does that with everybody.
Crowning achievement of their entire media strategy. Then Trump took office and started doing horrible things. Rogan called the undocumented immigrant raids horrific and heartless. He called the Iran war insane. He called MAGA supporters unintelligent dorks.
He's done it twice. She's had a falling out with him twice since just in the last 6 months that I've been watching this guy, or how long I've been watching this guy. She's had 2 falling out with him, and both times he treats her like shit. She comes right back. She comes right back. He's a scammer. He's a scammer. He's a scammer. I don't know if he knows or not, but he loves, and it's not even God who's saying that. It's Gorahari. It's these gurus. They're the ones that get to gatekeep God and his love. And if they don't give you permission, you can't love God. Lalita can't love God without Gorahari. She honestly believes that she can't love God. I don't even know what loving God means, but she can't do it unless Gorahari's involved. I can't love God unless Prabhupada's involved. Prabhupada has to be involved in that, in my relationship with God. Prabhupada has to tell me how I can love him, what to do, and if I'm not doing that, then I'm not really in love with God. Prabhupada or Narayan Maharaj or Shamarani or Bhagavan or Indrayumna Swami or Bhakti, they are the ones who get to say who can love God. Hridayananda, Jaya Potato Head, all of these guys. They decide. They're the ones that they control God and his love. And if you don't make them happy and wash their feet, give them flowers and say your prayers to them, then you can't have it. You can't have God. Gorahari too. Gorahari is the same way. He says if you're not surrendered to me, he says he's the person Bhagavat. He says he's the person Bhagavat. Is that the funniest thing? What are you saying here? That guy, the Rohini. He married his own disciple. When they marry their own disciple, it's really like, wow, that's so, how convenient. I mean, hey, who knew? Who knew that you were going to find your wife, one of your disciples is going to be your wife? How does that happen? I mean, gee, wow. Hey, amazing. My own, really? One of mine is one of mine? I mean, really? Gora has had his guru show for 8 years. He's been doing this for a long time. And he's a friggin' psychopath. He's a psychopath. He's dangerous. I recommend everybody stay away. I recommend everybody stay away from all of these guys. All of these. Really, I say you stay away from all of them. Every single one of these guys. All right. Okay, so we gotta do some. We gotta do. If I do this, I'm gonna get a copyright. I don't care. Yes, absolutely. Didn't Suradas in LA marry a student? Yes, he did. He did. He absolutely did. I thought it was weird. I definitely thought it was weird. And she was so young. Sura's my age. Sura was my age. He's 50 something years old. I don't know. At the time. His wife was Chaitanya, and I knew when he was married to Chaitanya, and then one day she's gone. One day she's gone, and a couple of days later, there's this young girl in there, like the young girl, like high school. I think she graduated high school, but she was young. She was young. Okay, I'm just saying. She was young. I don't know, 19, 20. I think she was in college. I think she was going to college. She was like 19, 20, something like that. It was weird. It was weird. Okay, let me see. I got some new videos. I got a lot of old videos. Let me see. Okay, here we go. What do we got here?
Watch what alcohol does to stuck poop.
If your belly blows up like a balloon every time
Stuck
you
poop.
eat, you have what doctors call...
Now I'm thinking of my father.
There's some stuck poop. Talking about stuck poop. You're looking at some stuck poop right there.
That I become a very Bhagavat. That was huge. He used to invite so many saintly persons. And he'd pray, please bless my son. I was very pet son, that he may become a devotee of Radharani. Radharani may bless him. That was his only prayer.
Probably talking about his father blessing him. Is this the same father that got you an 11-year-old girl for as a bride? Your father? Like your father was some great man? Like his father was some great man. His father arranged a marriage so that Prabhupada could have an 11-year-old girl, an 11-year-old bride. That's what Prabhupada's father did. Prabhupada's father hooked him up with an 11-year-old girl when he was 22. Fuck Prabhupada's father. I don't give a fuck about his father. I know, perfect timing for a stuck poop ad. Yeah. Stuck poop. There it is. That's stuck poop. I took a shit and it looked just like that. I know what my stuck poop looked like. It had T-lock on it. And I was like, wow, my poop, it looks just like Prabhupada. That's amazing. That's amazing. I should take it out of the toilet. I should take it to the temple and go, look, you want this piece of poop? It looks like Prabhupada. I know. That's how I feel. As soon as he started talking, I was like, oh God, I got to get this off. I got to turn this off. I can't stand his voice. I know. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I worked at ITV. I was subtitling his lectures. I would listen with headphones on, word for word. What did he say? Back it up. What was that sentence? Back it up. Okay, what's the next sentence? Oh, what did he say? Oh, I mean, and I was in bliss doing that. I was doing that for like 8 hours a day, listening to this guy talk, listening to these like and I'll tell you exactly which lectures it was. It was the New Vrindavan, his arrival into New Vrindavan, his Prabhupada's first time going to New Vrindavan. It was a video that was damaged, and the sound was really bad, and the video was really bad, and it was like there was two or three of these videos of Prabhupada in New Vrindavan, and the sound is really bad. You can hardly, and they took them and had them digitally enhanced, and we were subtitling them, and so we would listen to that lecture over and over and over again to make sure every word was right, every verse, every word. I did that for a long time, and then I moved on to the next one. And just that voice in my ear, just hearing him talk. I mean, we all heard him talk. We've all heard him talk and lecture. We've all seen the videos. But what I did at ITV was that's like some Clockwork Orange shit. Okay, that's like Clockwork Orange. That's like having my eyes and hearing the shit strapped to it there. That's exactly what it was. An epitome of evil. And that's what it was. It's like, no, stop. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
No! I can't take anymore. I've had it with you.
I've had it with you. Hey, Ann, good to see you, man. Glad to see you here. Stuck poop with T-Lock. Yeah. Stuck poop with T-Lock. Yeah. Probably his dad used to deliver tobacco and marijuana to family guru Yogi. Yeah, I know. 8 hours, man. 8 hours of that shit. 8 hours of that shit. I was taking audio player with speaker on to listen to Prabhupada lectures while shaving my head or wash dhotis. Then Bhakti Vikash saw this and thought, I'm going to be the next brainwashed soldier. Oh, I thought you were going to say, hey, you need to listen to my tapes and my lectures. No, I didn't do that. I did the New Vrindavan, and there was another one. I did the New Vrindavan arrival. It was his first time in New Vrindavan, and those were lectures that had never been released before. There was like 2 or 3 of them. Smell my finger, probably smell my finger. I know, it was so crazy. Okay, what's the next? Let me get to the next video. I love, this is one of my favorite parts of the show, is doing these. This is another one sent in by Tim. Thank you, Tim, for sending these in. What do we got here?
God said was transcendental nectar. Haribol. Really? Really. He was a pure devotee.
Hey, one should be truthful. Truthful means that he should be so much truthful that even his enemy asks him, where is your money? He'll say, here is my money. He'll not hide anything. That is truthfulness.
Okay, how about this one?
You swear on the Bible in the court. And I was reading in in the paper the other day that now in England they have passed a law whereby a man cannot be convicted of rape if he honestly believes that the woman consented to be raped. They said that the man cannot be convicted of rape if he honestly believes that the woman consented to his raping her.
Yeah, that is all right. Rape means without consent, sex. Otherwise, there is no rape. There was a rape case in Calcutta, and the lawyer is very intense.
So this is yeah, she's really good. She's very anti-Prabhupada. She doesn't make these videos anymore. I wish she would do it. She was really good. I don't know. I don't know why she doesn't do these anymore. Yeah, she's really good. She grew up in it. She knows. She knows. Yeah, she hasn't done anything new in a while. Yeah, she grew up in it. She knows all this shit. She knows all the shit. But yeah, that's Prabhupada basically just saying, Prabhupada just condoning rape, saying, you know, that women like to be raped. That's what he says. He says women like it. Women like to be raped.
He, somewhere or other, made the woman admit, yes, I felt it. So he was released. Here is consent. And that's a fact. Because after all sex, rape or no rape, they'll feel some pleasure. So the lawyer, by hook and crook, made the woman agree, yes, I felt some pleasure. Now there is consent.
Disgusting. The guy's a disgusting piece of shit. He's a disgusting piece of shit is what he is. Somehow or other, by hook or by crook. The fuck does this guy know? Teaching these guys that rape is okay. That's what he's teaching them. That's what he just told them. And not one of them said, wait a minute, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, are you telling me? No, not one of them. Not one of them had the balls to say, what the fuck are you talking about? What's her Radhika Rants is her. Radhika, right here, I'll put it. Let me give it to you. Yeah, she's really good. Okay, let's get to the next one. Oh, what's this one? Okay, here we go.
Say that women like to be raped. This is a video response to Skeptic Perspective, a channel known for its biased and provocative portrayal of Srila Prabhupada, attempting to undermine his unparalleled contributions to the world. To ensure fairness, this video seeks to present a balanced and accurate understanding of Srila Prabhupada's statements, enabling viewers to make informed and unbiased judgments. So, today we are diving into the controversial statements made by Srila Prabhupada.
So they're gonna spend 45 minutes explaining what we just heard Prabhupada say. They're going to explain to us they're going to take 45 minutes, make a 45-minute video to explain what we just heard Prabhupada say. We didn't hear Prabhupada say that. And we didn't hear that. He's going to tell us what we heard. He's going to explain to us what we heard. This guy's got to explain it to us.
The founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, whose teachings have shaped the lives of millions, for over half a century. In a purport from the Srimad Bhagavatam and also...
Well, shaped, you say that they've shaped, they've shaped, but what about all the harm that it's caused so many people? How do you say that? I say that his teachings have caused harm to millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people, thousands of kids' lives have been harmed. Women, suicides, rapes, domestic violence.
In a morning walk conversation, Srila Prabhupada seemingly mentioned that women like to be raped. These words have stirred considerable debate and confusion among both followers and critics of his teachings. Before rushing to pass any judgment on an individual on the internet,
Don't judge, don't pass judgment on what you've heard him say. Let us explain it to you so we can convince you that you didn't hear what he said.
we should consider the broader context of what is their teachings, what is the philosophy, and what is the intention behind the words spoken by Prabhupada. Only by doing that we can understand the complete picture of what is being conveyed, and we can avoid misinterpretation and misrepresentation of his words.
So what he's saying is, don't take his words for what he says. Let us interpret them for you, because if you don't let us interpret them for you, you will interpret them the wrong way and think that he means exactly what he means. That's what they're saying. Bunch of clowns for a clown. That's Mr. Ed Duke Hamsaduda. What did Prabhupada contribute to the world other than this evil criminal cult? Exactly, Paz. Good to see you. Glad to see you here, man. I know, exactly. He didn't contribute anything. They got to take a 45-minute video to explain why Prabhupada says women like to be raped.
So let's dwell deeper into this topic with an open mind and for the quest of understanding the truth. I would also like to acknowledge the sensitive nature of discussing something which is as horrific as rape. The victims of such crime face very heartbreaking traumatic experiences which cannot be understood by us, and it is also essential that the perpetrators of such crimes should be punished with the full brunt of the law without any leniency. I also would like to say that Guru, as revered and esteemed as Srila Prabhupada, would never condone and promote such a heinous crime such as rape. We will do...
Oh, but wait a minute, but he did. He said the woman feels some pleasure, so then therefore there's a consent. He says rape means sex without consent. And Prabhupada is trying to say that the woman, it feels some pleasure or she feels something because some lawyer twisted her words and made her say something like lawyers do, which I'm sure he did. He did his job, whatever he was paid to do. But that doesn't mean that she liked it. It doesn't mean that he had consent to rape this woman. And it's just ridiculous. The whole idea is ridiculous. The idea that you gotta make a 45-minute video explaining is ridiculous. And the idea that we can't just hear what Prabhupada says and know what he says is ridiculous. And the idea that Prabhupada would say this and that you people would still claim that he's some kind of guru or God-man or whatever the fuck you think he is friggin' delusional. This is a man that had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old, raped her until she stopped crying, and then went on to say that after he rapes his 11-year-old wife, child bride, his 11-year-old child, after he rapes his 11-year-old child bride, then he concocts this story about how women like to be raped. Oh, how convenient. Oh, isn't that convenient? Where's the church lady with, isn't that convenient? These people are scum. This guy's a scumbag. You're going to defend what Prabhupada says and then try to say, well, we don't. What? Fuck you. Fuck you, you piece of shit. The fuck off my fucking computer. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah, they could put little eyes on the poop and worship it with a little ladle and do a little artique to the little poop cork. A little poop cork with eyes. A little poop cork with eyes. Yeah, he did nothing. He did nothing for anybody. He's never done anything for anybody. Okay, so basically he's saying we're idiots. He needs to explain. Yeah, he needs to explain it to us. It's not enough. It's not enough that we can watch and hear and see and read and Prabhupada explains it to us. That's not enough. Then no, we need this guy. We need this guy to explain it. Like, who are you? Subal Das or whatever. Fucking. The gaslighting is insane. It is insane. It is friggin' insane. It is. That's why I'm saying this is friggin' mental illness. This is psychosis. If they don't think that we can. They think that we're so stupid. That's how stupid they think we're so stupid. That we don't know what Prabhupada is saying when he says women like to be raped. They think that we're so stupid that not only do we not understand what Prabhupada says, but we're gonna listen to them. We're gonna listen to this guy. That's how dumb they think we are. Prabhupada's speaking English. He's not speaking some foreign language that we don't understand. He's explaining himself. He's explaining what rape is. He's explaining how it happened. He's explaining everything. We don't need another explanation when Prabhupada is explaining his own explanation. They think we're that stupid. They think we're stupid. We don't know. We don't know what rape is. Critical thinking is not suspended just because Guru Boy wants us to be objective. I am objective. That's why my judgment is final against ISKCON. Exactly. That's exactly like this Gora Hari is saying, well, Mike and his people and those ex-ISKCON people, they haven't heard from the right person. No, we've heard it all. We've heard it all. It's not the person. You're caught up in that you think that it's you're the person. And that's what's going to make us no. We already know. We've heard it. I've heard it all. The ecstatic symptoms, the transcendental bliss, the 9 forms of devotion, all of that crap. We've heard it. We were there. It's so stupid.
I can dance. Boom, 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 Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay!
We know. We were there. We know. This is such. That's why, and again, that's why I say, and I'm going to keep harping on it. It's friggin' mental illness. It's a mental illness. These people can't think straight. This cult has fucked their heads up. It fucked my head up. I was just like these guys. I was no different. Thinking I'm on a spiritual path, I'm worshiping some god and some guru god and laying down and throwing flowers and water, and neck beads and chat. I mean, I was there. We were all there. The art of explaining. The art of explaining. I know. They make, look, listen, that 45-minute video, they made that 45-minute video for themselves. They got to convince themselves that he's not saying what they hear him say. They made that video for themselves. They didn't make it for the outside world. They made it for themselves. So that they don't end up leaving. So that they'll continue with the bullshit. They can continue with the mental illness. They didn't make that video was not for the outside world. Say, hey, you know, no, that's for them. The main person that's listening to that, the main person that is listening to that video is this guy. This is who that video is for. This guy needs to reinforce in his mind that Prabhupada is still the guru, and even if he said this shit, it doesn't matter because he didn't really mean it, and he would never do that, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. That's who the video's for. The video's for this guy. It's not for you and me, because we know the truth. Isn't it strange that Prabhupada was so fanatically against sex, yet had 5 children, none of whom became devotees as far as I know? Yeah, absolutely. And his wife, his wife sold his book so she could buy some tea. You know, he couldn't even convince his wife that he was a guru. And because she knew, she's like, you're no guru. You raped me when I was 11 years old. I ain't fucking falling for that bullshit. You weren't no guru when you were raping me. Absolutely, man. It's friggin'.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
I'm dreaming, damn it, I'm dreaming. Yabba dabba doo. Yabba dabba doo, man. Telling you. And where's my...
I can dance. Boo 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 boo. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boo boo boo.
And then you'll know. That's the thing. And then you'll know. You gotta chant and sing it with me, and then you'll know. Don't think you're gonna know just by knowing. No. You gotta sing it with me, and then you'll know. You gotta get down and wash my feet, drink my foot fungus smoothie. Listen to me explain it to you. They all think that they can explain it. They all the explainer. Explainer guru. Gaurahari's going to explain it. This guy's going to explain it. Friggin' Bhakti Vikash is going to explain it. Hridayananda's going to explain it. They're all going to explain it. Because reading it's not good enough. We need you. We need your dumb ass to fucking explain it to me. We need your dumb ass to explain it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Absolutely. Yeah, they'll defend every single thing he ever said. They'll always have an excuse. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like they have nothing better to do. They have nothing better to do. You'll know when you know. Then you'll know. Yep, then you know. Yeah, and if you see, and that's part of the brainwashing. If you criticize or find fault, then you'll never know. That's what Gaurahari says. He goes, oh, well, you know, they're committing offenses, so they're never going to understand. They're never going to understand why we look like lunatics. Hey, Ghana, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. Weird. 2 of Prabhupada's kids had severe mental illness. Really? Wow. Shocker. I'm shocked. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, I saw that one of his children died at age 30, and he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck about his kids. He didn't give a fuck about his kids. He didn't give a fuck about his wife. Why? He's a guru. Why should he care? Why should he? He's beyond that shit. He's way beyond giving a fuck. Yeah, I saw the oldest one. I think he died. I think he passed away. But in '96, I saw him in Vrindavan. I guess he had just won the lawsuit. I guess he had just won some money. I guess I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he was in Vrindavan and he had a big. Everybody was going nuts, and he looked just like Prabhupada. He looked just like Prabhupada. I was like, wow, look at that. That's Prabhupada's son of dickhead. Or whatever. No, at the time it was a big deal. I was like, ooh, look, that's Prabhupada's son. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. Now I'm like, fuck, who gives a shit? Fake it till you explain it. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. I got time for a couple more. Let's see. Oh, I got your. I'm so behind in these videos. Yeah, it was Kartik. I was there during Kartik. I was staying at the Maheshwari Ashram, and in '96, I was there for like 2 weeks. I almost got killed by Mahakali. I almost got killed by Mahakali. Came at me with a sword. I didn't know. I just got there. I didn't know. And they were having some Mahakali parade or something. And I was taking pictures. And Kali's coming around with this big sword and swinging the sword around. And yeah, I didn't know it was a real sword. I didn't know anything. And you got to be careful, okay? You got to be careful because this shit's real. And they're swinging the sword around, and I didn't know. It was like a parade. It was like a parade, one of those little village parades. And I'm out there with my camera taking pictures, and all of a sudden somebody grabbed me and just pulled me out of the way. And Kali came through with that sword. And if this person had not pulled me away, I would have been hurt. I would have been hurt. And then my friend was like, "What are you doing?" Krishna Katha was like, "What are you doing? You're gonna get killed out there taking pictures." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know. It was I was in Maheshwari Ashram. Hey man, you're probably in the room right next to me, man. We didn't know. That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, hey man, it's not something it ain't nothing to fool around with. Don't fool around. And then they're all telling me, they're all saying, hey, Kali almost got you. You would have went back to Godhead for sure. And I was like, I don't want to go back to Godhead. I'm not trying to go back to I'm not trying to go back to Godhead. Naguth. Prabhupada had liked the film Maharaj. Hey, yeah. So Rafal, we were both at the Maheshwari Ashram. That's so funny. That's like. Let me see. What is this? I'm really kind of.
Maharaj. So when he saw how we were living with, no running water, no electricity, in this like big one-room place, he said, "Would you like to come and live at the Hare Krishna temple? I'll bring you."
Don't
was a
go.
big picture of Srila Prabhupada in the magazine, and he came into my room and he said, "This man, will be leading the whole world someday."
Delusional. And he's going to be leading the whole world someday.
I mean, nobody considered protecting the women back in the day when they were young and beautiful and sent out, to places that, faraway places on their own to preach. And some of those Sankirtan leaders actually abused the women.
Oh yeah, you mean like sending that young girl out to Liberia in the middle of a civil war where she got shot? Fucking creeps. Raping the women, abusing the women, putting them in the middle of a war zone where they can get shot and killed. Fucking disgusting. And you guys think, and they think this is some great thing. Prabhupada is this great guy. This guy's this great organization. And ain't done nothing but fucking crimes. Ain't done nothing but abuse its children, women and children. Devotees getting killed, getting shot, assassinated, shot in their van, buried under a river. Shit going on in Nepal right now. Fucking attacking the people that are investigating child abuse. The fucking devotees are coming in and attacking the people that are investigating child abuse. You can't make this shit up. This is a spiritual organization. This is supposed to be the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Is going to spread Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement around the world, every town and village, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they're attacking the people that are investigating child abuse. Why? Because they're all a bunch of fucking sex fucking perverts, whatever, and they got all kinds of shit going on, and now it's all coming out. That's why. They didn't want them there investigating their friggin' child abuse and sexual abuse. Now the cat's out of the bag now. Well, I guess we better go kill them. We'll grab some knives and we'll go to the temple and we'll just kill them. Because what else are we going to do with these knives? We're not going to talk to them with a knife. Yeah, that was, yeah. Yeah, we were doing everything that year. It was the centennial year. It was Kartik. It was my first time in Vrindavan. We were going to Radhakund. We were going to Govardhan. We were going here. We were going there. Yeah, it was quite an adventure. Let me tell you, it was quite an adventure. Got to head off in a second. Thanks for being so kind to me. If there's any support groups for this, please let me know. Hey, you can, before you leave, check this out. You can contact me at, where is it? Is this it? No. There you go. You can contact me at my webpage. It's MikeSandoval.com. My email is itsmike@itsmikesandoval.com. So you can contact me there. You go to my webpage, and you can send me a comment. You can send me a message, a private message, and I'll respond. So you can reach me there. I am the world leader. There can be no other. Yep, you're the Duke. Duke of Squirrels. ISKCON Nepal is simply projecting their super Hindu Dutva shit from India. Yeah, I know. It's a disgusting cult is what it is. And it needs to end. It needs to end. Of course, we can't end it, but it needs to end. It needs to end. We need to just raise awareness. Raise awareness. Hey, you're welcome. Hey, take care. Take care. Everything's gonna work out. However, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but everything's gonna work out. Everything. Stay positive is what I'm trying to say. Stay positive. Professional Krishna bums. Yep, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Let me see. Oh boy, I guess I picked a good one. I guess I picked a good one.
จากกรดเกินในกระเพาะอาหารนี่เลยอีโนคลายกรดลดแน่นเฟ้อชนิดผงฟู
Oh, look at these two. Bhakti Yoga Conference.
Should we begin with a few deep breaths?
Murder Swami. Murder Swami, and I don't know.
Enjoy a deep inhale. Exhale, clearing breath.
Oh, breathing exercises.
Again, deep inhale. Exhale, release. Big inhale. Exhale, gentle smile on your face.
Wait a minute. What is this? What is this? Apparently ISKCON India Padayatra devotees were collecting these waters. Vijay Das was a leader. Not sure about what's in it, mate. You mean Vijay, the book guy, the book distributor? Vijay Das? He was in LA. He was in LA for the longest time. That guy, these guys are, when I think back, it's so strange. It's so strange now when I think back on these guys. Like, I haven't thought of that guy in a long time. Vijay. He's like a big time book guy. I mean, he was a big time book guy when I was around. And I guess, I don't know what he is now. I don't know if he's a Swami, sannyasi. I don't know what he is. But I think, when I think of him now, I just think, what a fucking scammer. These guys are all scammers. I think, like, I because I kind of looked up to these guys. They were like the senior or, more advanced devotees. They were playing the part. They were playing the part of the cosplaying brahmachari or the cosplaying devotee, whatever. Like this idiot. But now when I think about him, and I think, what a fucking scammer. These guys are a bunch of scammers.
Inhale.
Inhaling shit. I'm not here to watch a video of this guy inhaling.
Our communities, we believe, are God's communities. In fact, all living beings ultimately is God's community. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, Aham bija pratapita. I'm the essential, original father and mother of every.
Every time I hear this guy talk, I wish I was there so I could just tell him, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. Who the fuck you think you are? You're another fucking Gaura Hari. You're another fucking dreamer. What? Because you're a disciple of Prabhupada and you were following Kirtanananda around for 15 years. You're following that fucker around. 20 years. You're following that fucker around. And now you think you're some kind of holy man after you were the number one guy of a fucking psychopath. You're a fucking psychopath too. And all these people sitting around that think you're fucking somebody. Fuck.
If you see somebody who's crazy and you don't realize they're crazy, then you're fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy. Like, what has this piece of shit ever fucking done? What has he ever fucking done? The fuck has he ever done except scam people out of their money? Scam people out of their money. That's the only thing that's the only thing he can do. That's the only thing he knows how to do. Scam people for their money. He ain't no fucking guru. He ain't no fucking holy man. He ain't no fucking anything. He's a big fucking piece of shit. Stop sucking airborne creatures. I agree. Justice for airborne creatures, man. Justice for airborne creatures. That's what I say. Jai Vijay. Oh, okay. Different to Vijay Das. He's ISKCON book beggar minister. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Prabhupada said all that hatha yoga was retarded, waste of time, and not bhakti. So these new scammers sell it because it's popular. Yeah, whatever. Scam of the day. Scam of the day. Scam du jour. Scam du jour. This guy. He just looks like a scammer. Because he is a scammer. Because he is a scammer. I mean, he looks like a scammer because he is one.
That we have received.
A big smile. Big scammer smile on his face. Ugh. Yeah, he was a puppet in the hands of Kirtananda. Yeah, you know, and I was there when he made his return into ISKCON. I was there. I was there when he came in. This is a coincidence. I happened to be at the LA temple. He arrived. He came in, and it was his return to ISKCON after Kirtananda went to jail, and this fucker was returning to ISKCON. And he showed up at the LA temple, and he gave his I'm sorry, I'm back lecture at the LA temple. I didn't attend it, but I was there at the LA temple when he walked by, and I knew who he was. I saw him, and I was like, "Fuck you, you fucking prick." Yeah, just like ISKCON, downriver it gets really filthy. Just like ISKCON. ISKCON is just like the Ganges. Downriver it gets really filthy. Hey, listen, everybody, I want to thank you all for joining in today. I had a great time learning about cults, learning about personality disorders, looking at these fake ass gurus and making fun of them. That's the best.
All right.
All right. I love fucking goofing on these pieces of shit. I swear, I really do.
Let's have sex.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have sex. So, I'm just gonna say, yabba dabba doo badaya, everybody. Yabba dabba doo badaya. So, thanks for joining in. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Man, everything is going great. My views are up. My subscriptions are up. Everything's going great. Everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. I was there in Mumbai when Chowpatty Temple reunited with ISKCON. Yeah, I guess it was around the same. Time. It was like, I'm not sure when it was. I don't know what year that was, but yeah, hey, just walk away. Absolutely. Where's my humongous?
Just walk away. There has been too much violence, too much pain. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror. Just walk away.
Just walk away, everybody. Just walk away.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?
And yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Absolutely. because they collected it all, and then they were going to bathe Prabhupada with it, and they were going all over India and getting water from all the rivers and all the kundas, and they were going to have this Maha Abhishek thing, whatever. And I was there when they did that. I was there when they did they did that in '96 in Kartik. Rafal, you remember they did. They had a ceremony where they were bathing Prabhupada. I was there. I remember that. Okay, so everybody, please. I think that's the last comment. I was waiting for. I thought there was going to be an answer. Yes, absolutely. Snoggle. Thank you, Snoggle, for joining in. Everybody, I want to thank everybody. Snoggle, Fake Human, Rafal, Duke of Squirrels, Weird Planet, even Nagut with your Bible verse, Jenna Morton, and AJ, and who else? Weird Planet again and again, and Joe Lynn, of course. Joe Lynn, and who else? And Sophie, Sophie, who left early, but good for you. Thanks for stopping by. So everybody have a great day, great night, great morning, great evening, great afternoon. If you're hungry, have a great brunch, and have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And for all you new people out there, Sophie, if you're watching, here I am, a long time ago, when I was once a Hare Krishna. Thanks, everybody.